Listen, not to me, to the space between your own heartbeat and your next breath. That is where the secret lives. That is where the something really good is already germinating, already sending roots through the soil of your life, already preparing to break the surface in a way that will make your hands shake and your eyes water. But before it breaks, before it blooms, before it announces itself to the world with a color so bright it hurts to look at directly, you need to make a choice. A choice about who gets to know, a choice about who gets to see, a choice about who gets to stand close enough to smell the fragrance of what is growing in the private greenhouse of your becoming. Because not everyone deserves to know. Not everyone has earned the right to witness your joy. And the single greatest threat to what is coming is not failure. It is not bad luck. It is not Mercury retrograde or Saturn in your 12th house or whatever astronomical excuse people use when their own lives feel stagnant. The single greatest threat is your own mouth, your own generosity, your own beautiful, catastrophic instinct to share the good news before the roots are deep enough to survive exposure. I am going to tell you what is happening, but I need your silence as collateral. I need you to treat the next 10 minutes like a confessional, like a vault, like a sealed letter that you will burn after reading, keeping only the ash as proof that you once held something sacred in your hands, because what is coming toward you, Virgo, is not ordinary. It is not the incremental, polite improvement that your practical nature has learned to expect. It is a quantum leap, a sudden, irreversible upgrade in the operating system of your existence. And quantum leaps do not announce themselves with press releases. They happen in the dark. They happen behind closed doors. They happen in the silence that you have been so disciplined about cultivating, the silence that your friends mistook for loneliness and your family mistook for stubbornness and your ex mistook for a door they could still unlock. That silence was not emptiness. That silence was incubation, and the egg is about to crack. Here is the first thing you need to know. There is love arriving. Not the love you have been negotiating with, not the situationship that drained you like a slow leak in a tire you were too tired to patch. Not the ex who returns every few months with just enough hope to keep you from fully healing. This is new love, or old love made new. A person who has been watching you from a distance that they believed was permanent, who has been studying your evolution like a scholar studying a text in a dead language, who has finally realized that the distance was never permanent. It was just fear dressed as geography. And they are moving quietly, deliberately, without fanfare. They are not posting about it. They are not consulting a committee of friends. They are making a decision in the privacy of their own heart, and that decision is you. They are choosing you with a finality that would terrify you if you knew about it too soon, which is why you must not know about it too soon, which is why the universe is telling you through me and not through them, because you are not ready to receive the weight of their choice until you have built a container strong enough to hold it. And the container is your discretion. This person's going to reveal themselves. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon, in a window that feels almost suspiciously specific. A Tuesday evening, a Sunday morning, a moment when you are doing something so ordinary that the extraordinary nature of their arrival will feel like a glitch in the simulation. They are going to say something that sounds casual on the surface and lands like a meteor in the basement of your heart. And your first instinct because you are Virgo and your first instinct is always to process aloud, will be to tell someone, to text your best friend, to post a cryptic story, to call your mother, to do anything that externalizes the voltage before it burns a hole in your chest. Do not. I am begging you, do not. Because the moment you speak it, you dilute it. The moment you share it, you invite opinions. And opinions, even well-meaning ones, are like frost on new leaves. They do not kill immediately. They just slow the growth. They just discolor the edges. They just make what was inevitable feel conditional. Here is the second thing. Money. Not a windfall. Not a lottery. Not a miracle that requires no participation, but a correction. A long overdue adjustment in the economic ledger of your life. Someone has been reviewing accounts. Someone has been looking at what you have contributed versus what you have received, and the imbalance has become offensive to the mathematics of justice. This correction will arrive disguised as an opportunity, a project that pays more than it should, a client who values your work at the rate you have been too humble to demand. A discovery that you have been underpaid, undervalued, or overlooked, and the retroactive compensation is about to hit your account with a force that makes you stare at your phone in disbelief. And again, your instinct will be to tell people, to let the ones who watched you struggle know that you are no longer struggling, to post the receipt, to update your LinkedIn, to let the world know that the drought has ended. Resist. The drought has ended, yes, but the harvest is still fragile. The grain is still on the stalk, and the birds are watching. The birds who did not help you plant, who did not water the field while you were carrying buckets in the dark, who now circle overhead, waiting for the moment when your guard drops so they can peck at what you have grown. The third thing is recognition, the kind that does not come with a certificate, the kind that comes with a shift in how people look at you when you enter a room, a shift so subtle that you might miss it if you are not paying attention, the way conversations pause, the way bodies reorient, the way someone who used to interrupt you now waits for you to finish your sentence. This recognition is not something you asked for. It is the natural consequence of consistency, of showing up when no one was clapping, of delivering quality when no one was grading, of being kind when no one was recording. The universe has been taking notes, and those notes have reached the people who matter, the gatekeepers, the connectors, the ones who do not announce their power but wield it quietly, behind closed doors, in conversations you will never be invited to attend. They are talking about you, right now, in rooms you have never seen. They are saying your name in context that would make your younger self weep with disbelief, and the doors they are opening are not the doors you have been knocking on. They are better doors, hidden doors, doors that do not have signs but have your name already inscribed on the other side. But here is what the title of this reading is really about. Not the love, not the money, not the recognition. Those are just the symptoms. The disease they cure is invisibility. The disease they cure is the feeling that you have been shouting into a void, working into a void, loving into a void, and the void has been your only witness. The cure is here. The medicine has been delivered. But medicine, real medicine, does not work if you leave the bottle open. It does not work if you let everyone dip their fingers in to taste. It does not work if you explain the prescription to people who have never been sick a day in their lives and who therefore cannot understand why you needed healing in the first place. You need to create a perimeter, a sacred boundary around the good thing that is happening, and that perimeter needs to be enforced not with walls, but with discernment, with the exquisite surgical precision of knowing who gets to know what and when. Your best friend, the one who cried with you through the worst of it, she gets to know, but maybe not everything. Maybe not the exact amount of the deposit, maybe not the exact words the lover used, maybe not the name of the gatekeeper who finally saw your worth, because even love can be clumsy. Even love can accidentally step on the seedling while trying to admire it. Your mother, who means well, but who processes your life through the lens of her own fears, she does not get to know, not yet, maybe not ever. Your coworkers, who have been competing with you in a race you did not know you entered, they get to know nothing. Your ex, who is already sniffing the air for signs of your happiness because your happiness is the only proof they have that they mattered, they get silence. Beautiful, devastating, impenetrable silence. I want to teach you the art of the graceful withhold, because withholding is not lying. Withholding is not secrecy born of shame. Withholding is stewardship. It is the recognition that your joy is a finite resource in its early stages, and that every person you tell becomes a drain on that resource, not because they are bad, but because they are human. And humans, when confronted with joy they did not help create, respond in one of three ways. They diminish it, they envy it, or they try to attach themselves to it. The diminishers will say, "That is nice, but do not get too excited. Remember what happened last time." The enviers will say, "I am so happy for you," while their eyes calculate the distance between your fortune and their stagnation. The attachers will say, "We should celebrate," which means they want to stand close enough to your fire that some of the warmth reflects on them without them having to burn. None of these responses are evil, but all of them are dangerous to the infant stage of what you are growing. And what you are growing is still in the nursery. It still needs the dark. It still needs the quiet. It still needs your undivided attention before it is strong enough to survive the weather of other people's reactions. So here is what you do. You practice the smile that says everything and reveals nothing. The smile that your grandmother had, the one that made her seem like she knew a secret that the rest of the world was too young to understand. You practice the phrase, "Things are looking up," which is true and complete and satisfies the curious without feeding them. You practice the pause, the 3-second silence after someone asks, "So what is new?" that lets you decide in real time whether they have earned the update. Most people have not. Most people are asking out of politeness, not investment, and politeness does not deserve the currency of your private miracles. I am seeing a specific scene, a dinner, a gathering. Someone asks about your love life or your work or your plans, and you feel the words rising in your throat like a tide. The truth, the whole beautiful, terrifying truth about what is coming. And you swallow it, not because you are ashamed, but because you are protective. You take a sip of water. You change the subject with a grace so smooth that the questioner does not even realize they have been redirected. And later, when you are alone, when the door is locked and the phone is face down and the only witness is the moon through your window, you let the truth out. You whisper it to yourself. You let your own voice be the first to celebrate it. You let your own heart be the first to receive it. And in that solitude, the joy doubles. It compounds. Because joy that is shared too early is joy that is taxed. But joy that is held in the dark, that is savored in private, that is allowed to mature without the interference of other people's projections, becomes something else. It becomes certainty. it becomes unshakable. It becomes yours in a way that no opinion, no envy, no well-meaning warning can ever erode. There is a person in your life right now who is watching you more closely than you realize. Not because they love you, because they are measuring themselves against you. They have been using your struggles as a benchmark for their own comfort. As long as you were hurting, they could tolerate their own mediocrity. As long as you were single, they could tolerate their own unhappy relationship. As long as you were underpaid, they could tolerate their own undervalued labor. And now, as the signals of your upgrade begin to leak through the cracks of your discretion, they are feeling a panic they cannot name. They will try to get closer. They will offer help you do not need. They will invite you to events where they can observe you, study you, find the flaw that proves your happiness is not real. Do not give them the satisfaction. Do not give them the data. Starve them of information until they have no choice but to confront their own stagnation without using your life as a distraction. And then there is the person who genuinely loves you. The one who has been praying for this. The one who sent you the text at exactly the right moment. Who showed up with soup when you were sick. Who remembered your birthday when everyone else forgot. That person deserves something. Not everything, but something. A hint, a glimpse, a carefully curated update that says, I am okay, better than okay. And it is happening because of everything you believed about me when I could not believe it myself. That person is your ally. They are not a drain. They are a reservoir. But even reservoirs need boundaries. Even allies do not need the blueprint of your fortress. Give them the view from the window. Keep the floor plan to yourself. I want to talk about the physical sensations of keeping a secret this big, because your body is going to react. You are going to feel a pressure in your chest that is not anxiety, but excitement being contained. You are going to feel a tremor in your hands that is not fear, but energy looking for an outlet. You are going to wake up at odd hours with the urge to tell someone, anyone, that the thing you have been waiting for is finally here. When that happens, do not reach for your phone. Reach for a journal. Reach for a prayer. Reach for the silence and let the silence hold it. The silence is stronger than you think. It has been holding galaxies together since before language existed. It can hold your joy until you are ready. There is a timeline I need to mention. Not because the universe operates on deadlines, but because your energy does. In the next 14 days, something will happen that tests your discretion. A moment when the secret wants to escape, when the person who does not deserve to know asks the exact right question at the exact wrong time, when your own excitement overrides your wisdom. When you are tempted to post, to share, to broadcast before the broadcast is ready, that moment is a test. Pass it, and the good thing solidifies. Fail it, and the good thing does not disappear, but it slows, it hesitates, it waits for you to prove that you can be trusted with your own blessings before it delivers the next one. The universe is not cruel. It is just careful. It does not give full harvests to people who scatter seed on concrete. So here is your instruction. For the next 2 weeks, practice the art of selective visibility. Let people see the surface. Let them see that you are well. Let them see that you are calm. Let them see that mysterious, infuriating serenity that comes from knowing something they do not know. But do not let them see the machinery. Do not let them see the love letters. Do not let them see the bank statements. Do not let them see the emails from people who finally recognize what you have always been worth. Keep the machinery oiled and running in the basement of your life behind a locked door with a sign that says authorized personnel only. And the only authorized personnel is you. And maybe, if they have truly earned it, one other person whose name you whisper only when you are sure no one else is listening. When the love arrives, when the money lands, when the recognition crystallizes into something you can hold in your hand, you will be tempted to throw a party, to announce it, to let the world know that the waiting is over. Wait. Wait longer than you want to. Wait until the love has survived its first argument. Wait until the money has paid its first bill and still left a surplus. Wait until the recognition has proven itself to be more than a fleeting trend. Wait until what is good has become what is real. And then, only then, begin to let the light out slowly, through cracks, through hints, through a smile that says more than your words ever could. Let the world earn the right to celebrate with you, because celebration shared too early is just noise. But celebration shared at the right time with the right people after the right amount of waiting becomes a symphony. I want to close with an image. A garden at midnight, no moon, no stars, just the dark, thick, and absolute. And in the center of that dark, a single flower opening. Not for an audience, not for a photographer, not for a bee or a butterfly or a botanist, just opening. Because it is time. Because the work of becoming has reached its natural conclusion. Because the dark has been its midwife, its protector, its only witness, and the fragrance that rises from that flower is not less beautiful for being unobserved. It is more beautiful. It is pure. It is unmediated. It is exactly what it was meant to be, without the distortion of other people's interpretations. Be that flower, Virgo, open in the dark. Let the good thing happen in the shelter of your own discretion. Let the world find out when they are ready, when you are ready. When the bloom is too magnificent to hide any longer. And when that day comes, when the sun finally rises on what you have grown in secret, the light will not damage it, because the roots are deep, because the stem is strong, because you were wise enough to protect the fragile thing until it could protect itself. Lock the door, turn the key, smile in the silence, and know that what is coming is already yours. The world will know soon enough, but not yet, not until you say so. Not until the flower is ready to be seen. And when it is ready, when the petals have fully unfurled and the color is undeniable, the world will not just see your joy, they will feel it. They will feel it in the vibration of your presence, in the calm of your eyes, in the way you walk through chaos without flinching, because you know something they do not know. You know that the best things are not announced, they are revealed. And the revelation, when it finally comes, will be worth every second of the silence that preceded it. Hold your peace, hold your joy, hold your tongue. The something really good is happening, and it is happening for you alone until you decide otherwise. That is your power. That is your privilege. That is your right. Use it